Good Saturday morning to you. This is David Angione with the Everything Real Estate Show, and we are here with Ryan from
First In-Home Inspection.
I can never remember that. It's too many words for me to remember. But First In-Home Inspection, I have to repeat that several times. Today we are going to talk a little bit about radon and why you need it, what it is, what it causes, how we can get rid of it, all those other fun things. So, and again, anytime that you want to email us your questions, you can email myself at davidangione.com, and that is spelled Angione, or call or text at 330-323-6396. And for Ryan, you would call?
First In-Home Inspection can be reached at 330-961-1010.
And your email?
My email is ryan@firstinohio.com.
So we are looking for questions. We want to answer them for you. We can't answer them if we don't get them. So, Ryan, go ahead and talk to us a little bit about some radon.
So radon is just a natural gas. It's radioactive, and it comes from underneath the ground. The thing that's special about radon and kind of makes us aware of it, it's a cancer-causing radioactive gas. So it's a gas. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, but it's a problem, and it can be in your home. When you breathe air containing radon, you increase the risk of getting lung cancer. The Surgeon General has their warnings about it, just like how they put on a box of cigarettes. And if you smoke, you're going to get lung cancer, it says. And then the EPA even says indoor radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. And breathing it over prolonged periods can present a significant health risk to families all over the country. So basically what they're saying is that it's important to know what radon levels are in your house, and if there are ways to make it lower and make it more healthy for you to live in.
So, Ryan, my neighbor doesn't have any radon.
Okay. Well, your neighbor has a little bit of radon.
Right, but it's a very low number.
Sure.
Okay. So what are the chances of mine being like his or higher or...
There's no rhyme or reason. So just because your neighbor had his or her radon levels tested doesn't mean that yours are low. So let's just say, for instance, naturally walking outside, the radon levels are like 0.4 picocuries per liter. So it is everywhere. The national average for the indoor home is like 1.6 picocuries per liter. The EPA puts their number at 4 picocuries per liter. So anything over 4, they suggest you put a radon mitigation system in to start lowering those levels to a more manageable level.
Okay, so so I'm thinking about selling my home, and let's go back. Let's go say I've been living here for 5 years, and it's never been tested. Should I test it? How do I test it? Should I call someone like yourself, or can I go to the store and just pick up one of those little containers? But sure. I've been living here, and now all of a sudden I'm hearing about radon. I never paid any attention to it. I've got a new family, or I'm spending more time in my basement or whatever. So tell me, what do you think I should do there?
You should definitely get tested. So testing is the only way that you can actually find out if radon is affecting your home and how much is in it. So yeah, they make the kits at home. You can, or like Home Depot or Lowe's or something, you can go there and buy the test kits and get it done and kind of get an idea of it, and that's fine. The biggest thing is getting to find out what that number is. So using a short-term test, usually 2 to 90 days is what they kind of recommend for short-term testing to get the number. If you use the package, they want to have you do either 2 side by side or 1 tested, and then for its 2 days, and then directly after that start another one for 2 days. So part of like the real estate transaction, we're in time restraints. So we do that 2 tests right next to each other for 2 days and get you what the number is. Or my company carries continuous radon monitors, so we actually have a machine that we just put in the basement and test the levels. But yeah, if you're living at home now and you hearing about radon for the first time, you should get tested, whether you call us and have us come out and do the testing, or one of the many other companies that do testing and mitigation. Give them a call and they can get tests put in your basement and get that figured out.
So now, are you as someone who tests radon, is that a licensed thing you have to be?
Yes. So in the state of Ohio, you have to be licensed through the Ohio Health Department. So we're licensed through the state of Ohio Health Department. We have a radon testing ID number. We had to go through a 16-hour class for it. We have to keep up with CE throughout the years, and every 2 or 4 years, with all the different licenses I hold, I can't remember which one is which, but either 2 or 4 years we have to renew that license and keep it updated. There's logs through the state that every time we go into a house and test for radon, we have to update those through the health department, tell them what houses we've been testing at, what their levels were, and stuff like that. And everything's recorded and updated to the system, so they kind of track what's going on as far as radon levels.
So what does the state do with those? I mean, they track them, but what is the purpose of them tracking them?
I think the states kind of want to know where the radon is. So they have if you look online, you can find like radon maps, and it kind of tells you where it's higher than normals, where it's lower than normal, what areas kind of are the most concerning. And so like I think they take all that data and just put it in their system, and they're kind of just seeing where the radon is.
Okay, and radon has been around forever. I just think we've become more and more aware of it. Partially maybe because our homes have become a little airtighter than what they used to be. I don't know. That's just a thought that runs through my head every now and then. So I don't know if there's any truth to that or not. But that's kind of what I think maybe is part of why we're seeing more of it. But so and then again, just for as a seller, I'm contemplating selling my home, and so obviously it kind of foregoes any possible heads up with a buyer that I'm going to have to face anyhow. So other benefits that would be in my testing it as a pre-sale.
Yeah, so if you're selling your home, it's going to be one of those things that is a health or safety issue, and that's usually the big issues that come up in the inspections and the real estate process, to where they're going to need to be addressed and be fixed. So it's a health issue. So the EPA recommends that you test your home before putting on the market, and if necessary, put in this proper systems to start lowering those levels. You'll save the test results, save all the information and all the steps that you were taking to fix the problems, all the people you contacted to have the systems put in, and it could be a positive selling point for you. You have someone who is looking to buy your house, and they come in, and part of your disclosure says, look, I got my house tested for radon, the levels were low, so there's no concerns there. That's a good selling point. Another selling point is if, hey, look, my levels were high, and I had a system put in by professionals, and you can be assured that these radon levels are lower now, and they're being taken care of, and here's all my receipts and et cetera to show you that that's been done. And it shows that prospective buyer that, okay, this homeowner was diligent, and they were looking in my best interest, our best interest, to keep this house safe.
So I've done it. I get something that's below the 4.0 picocuries, and I got it on the market. It's been on the market for 35 days. So I get a buyer, they come in and they want to test. And obviously, in my opinion, the best thing would be to come back to you and have you put that test in there. Is that something that you would look at? It would be, so cost-wise and everything to the buyer, where would we be at on that?
Yeah, so and then it's definitely the buyer's right to do another test. Radon levels change throughout the seasons, throughout, different developments in the house, any changes to the house. It changes the pressure inside, or a small crack forms in the basement or something, and radon can leak through. So it would behoove a buyer, too, to also get their test just to kind of see what the levels are now, if they compare to what they were before, or even if they put a system in to see if the system's doing its job.
Okay, so if that's... So we're going to have a retest. The system, we've put a system in because it was high, and now there's a little tube on there that's telling us it's okay. And is it going to take the same amount of time to stay in there, even though we have the system in there? Are we going to do that, 48 hours it is, I believe?
Yeah, the minimum is 48 hours for a test. And then that is just a snapshot and kind of telling you what's going on. The EPA also recommends doing long-term testing, which can stay in the house for up to 9 months. So you can get a better picture of those changes I was talking about from different seasons and weather conditions and changes throughout the house.
Okay, cool. So What else do you have to talk to us about there on Radon? You're the expert. I'm just getting informed as well as.
So we can talk about buyers. So if you're the buyer buying a home, they also recommend you getting it. Recommend getting the indoor radon level tested and seeing what it is. Ask the seller if they got it before, get it. And if it hasn't been tested, you need to get it tested yourself. And even for new home builds, if you are getting a new home built, it's easy for the builders to install passive systems into like the exoskeleton of the house before drywall and stuff goes up. That way, if radon is a problem, all you have to do is add that fan, and then you don't have to worry about adding other things on like the outside of the house to eliminate the radon. So we talked about short-term testing that's recommended for the real estate transaction. So for the homeowner themselves, if you're living in the home, they recommend testing on the lowest level that you currently lived in. So if you don't have a basement, or you don't have a finished basement, I should say, test on that first floor and see the actual living space that you're living in and get those radon levels. The reason why they go to the basement for real estate transactions is because they want you to test for the lowest possible lived-in levels. So if that new buyer were to finish their basement down the road, they already know what the levels are at that lowest level and if it's going to be safe down there.
So we're told we're going to test in the lowest level. Is it possible, again, I'm the buyer, I'm hiring you, and you come in and you say, I'm going to test on the basement level because that's what's recommended, and the buyer says to you, can we test on both levels? Can we test on the basement and the first floor level?
Yeah, you could definitely you could test on all the levels. You could see where it all, but you got to remember that radon's coming from underground, so the highest level you're going to get is at that basement. As it goes up, it starts to dissipate. Radon has a half-life of like just over 3 days, so at that 3-day period is going to be the peak of that radon level, and then it's able to break down over those next the rest of the half-life until it goes down to nothing again, and then with that short half-life it just keeps coming back up again, and as it goes through the half-life it's able to last over those 3.5 days, and it just keeps going up, keeps going down. It fluctuates.
Okay, well, this is David and Joan along with Ryan, and we are going to take a short break here, and then when we come back I want to talk a little bit more about the passive install for new construction. So again, we'll be hearing from our sponsors. Thank you very much, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.